Right. When we talk about people who are trying to switch, right? You have like switched after your like initial years, then you have spent a lot of time in one organization, and then you shifted to right now one of the biggest companies, right? One can dream of, especially if they are into data science and stuff. So Google, Meta, Microsoft. Okay. So what should be the roadmap if someone wants to switch after some time?
Yeah, I would say definitely plan early. I mean, it's good if you know that it's time for me to switch and you haven't put in your resignation yet. I mean, people may call it
Yeah.
playing it safe, but I would say that that's what I did. So, I mean, yeah. And then and then basically thinking about what kind of role you would want to do next, right? Maybe writing it down on a paper, doing a lot of LinkedIn surfing to see if are particular organizations you want to target or not. Or maybe if you want to generally switch, kind of reaching out to recruiters and getting a sense of what kind of roles are available at your level, right? First of all, I think the
Right.
very important thing is that in your head, there shouldn't be a mismatch of your skills and your actual kind of skills that are needed for your next job, basically. So, assuming you're able to figure out that this is the company that I want to reach, or maybe this is the set of companies, 10 set of companies that I want to reach. And then I think then you start thinking about what kind of interviews that they have taken, and there is a lot of material that is available on the kind of rigorous interviews that some of these companies take. I remember for Meta, I sat for like 8 interviews, maybe or not, or something like that. And
Oh,
yeah, so getting a sense of what kind of interviews are there, and then what kind of skills are needed for it, and then basically chalking out a plan which says that mostly these companies do like for example, a coding interview, a problem solving interview, kind of a machine learning specialist interview, a general kind of a stakeholder management interview, right? So just chalking that out and then potentially kind of building yourself up to these interviews, and the preparation to all of these interviews can be very different. For example, the stakeholder
right.
management interview might require you to list out some scenarios from your work experience so far, scenarios wherein you had to tell your senior that you have made a mistake, scenario wherein you needed to work with a teammate who's difficult to work with. There will be different. So obviously think good examples, crisp examples from your past, and I would say prepare them in a manner that you don't want to be thinking on the spot. You want to be prepared. I'm not
Right.
saying memorize it, but
Right.
you don't want to be mumbling on the spot. You want to summarize them as crisp answers, right? So do that preparation, write it down, go through them in your head and whatnot. For example, if there is a coding interview, you need to kind of probably just brush up your SQL skills, get some hard problems online from lead code or something and kind of solve them. That would give you confidence. If that's a Python problem, then potentially try to solve the same problems with SQL and Python both and see how you basically fare with them. Similarly, basically brush up on your statistics. I would love to understand if you actually understand the thing that you're saying or you're just saying it. So, and then I think one important skill is that on your CV, whatever you have written, be prepared to back it up. I, I mean,
Right.
I'm a firm believer in that. If you have done
Right.
something, even if you played a small role in a big project and you want to mention it, mention your exact role and kind of explain what other people and what you did and how it fit into the picture and how it led to an outcome for the organization. I think that connecting that bit is important. So you doing a very cool model is all good, but what does it mean for the organization? How does it translate into value for them? So yeah, I would
Right.
say definitely do that. So that would be my strategy. Again, I mean, when I think about it, I think my strategy for most things is very simple. Just break it down into smaller parts and tackle one at a time. So maybe I'm saying the same thing here as well, but that's what I would approach it basically. And obviously now with the with the Gen AI and kind of so much knowledge being there, all this should be easier, but it can be difficult if you get lost in a lot of this as well. So make sure you know where you want to get to, and then obviously practice, I would say. Get a good
Right.
friend to sit through and then probably start saying things to him. Many people do this. They record themselves in a mirror and then kind of watch
Right.
those videos to see how they are pacing. I think that's valuable as well, because the more you do it, the more you learn, basically.
Right. Now I see my videos when I was speaking and then I regret. Then I guess that's the way I get in front of camera, even knowing that, okay, I may suck and all, but yeah, I still keep doing this. So I guess for all those years, it has made me better in speaking, especially
No,
in
no,
front of
keep
camera
on
and in
doing,
front of
Sudhanshu.
public.
Yeah, no, we
Right.
we
Thanks.
like you, man.
Okay.